Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Joel Frame, and I am the Imperfect Dad.
He's a dad and he's super rad. Sometimes he's good and sometimes he's bad. He's the imperfect
All right.
dad.
Man, we are here, ready for another episode. I'm excited to be back. A lot's been going on. I really like the every other week thing. It just kind of gives me a little bit more time to compile some good stories and things that are going on. And because some days are kind of boring. Not really. That's a total lie. No days are really boring. Some days are long. That's true. Some days are long, but no days are boring. But anyways, some days there's not real funny stories or not real good stories to tell. So kind of adding an extra week in there helps out. So I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Thank you so much for coming back. I am so thankful for everybody who has subscribed and supported and followed and liked and shares. You guys are incredible. We're over 600 followers now on the Facebook page. Super stoked. If you're not already, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dad Imperfect. And I put up all kinds of really cool pictures and funny videos and things, so I think you'll enjoy it. But anyways, appreciate you all. If you're wondering about the setup right now and the audio, I totally forgot that all my studio lighting and my microphone and everything was at the nonprofit that I run, and I don't have my key for it right now. So I couldn't get in the building to get it, and that's kind of frustrating, but we're winging it. And you guys, we're like family. You get it? You know what I mean? I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. I feel good about it actually, because I feel like it's more intimate. We're a little more up close and personal. So let's get weird. Flower girls. If you watched the last episode, you saw me talk about the fact that my girls were about to be flower girls in an upcoming wedding that happened last weekend. And I told about past experiences of my daughters being flower girls when I was just an absolute blubbering idiot. I cannot hold it together. Okay? Now this time was a different scenario because Nellie and Eddie, our 6 and 4-year-old, they were with 3 other girls. There were 5 flower girls in this wedding, which was really cute. And there were also 2 aisles, and the aisle that they came down, that everyone was using, I couldn't really see. So thank goodness that there was just a mob of them. There was like 5 of them. So it didn't really feel as much like flower girls, and like all eyes were on like my girls. I say my girl because Nellie before this was the only one that had been a flower girl, and so I would just fall apart because it was just like her walking down the aisle. Anyways, but this time I didn't really get to see them until they got up to the front, and I don't know. I didn't cry. I didn't even really get misty-eyed. I kind of felt weird. I just laughed and giggled and was like, oh, when I saw them. They just looked so pretty. I was so proud of them. And I was so proud of myself for not just absolutely falling apart. Because there were people who know that that's my reputation, and they were checking up on me every 2 to 3 seconds. They kept looking back. I could see them looking up at me, and but I held it together. I was a warrior. Wedding was great. It was super fun. Great ceremony. And then we had a great time. The reception was at the Hermitage Hotel, downtown Nashville, which if you haven't been there, you have to go. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. And downstairs, there's this bathroom they restored to the original like 1930s Art Deco style. And it is super cool. Art Deco is one of my favorite styles in design, and I love it so much. And so that bathroom, I could just stand in there forever. And luckily Matt, the groom, is really cool, and so we took a bunch of the groomsmen photos in that bathroom actually, which was pretty funny. And they played like real dope old school music, jazz. So it's kind of like, you feel like an old school mobster when you're pooping, dude. It's pretty cool. Pretty special, I like to pretend like I'm Al Capone when I'm in there peeing. And, yeah. So, anyways, TMI, but, hey, what did I say at the beginning? Let's get weird. We're doing it. Okay. So, things have been crazy around here. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the girls have recently picked up a cocaine addiction or what. We're looking into it, but they have been crazy. Crazy. Just weird stuff, Sticking their butts in each other's faces, doing weird stuff. Just like weird, gross kid stuff, like burping at the dinner table, farting at the dinner table and stuff. This might sound like TMI, but I know there's a lot of parents out there going, yeah, me too. And I don't help the situation, you know what I mean, because I'm kind of a goofball. I understand that. So I know that I don't set the greatest example for when's not the time to be goofy and things. But, it's whatever. But things are going good here. Sorry if you can hear that. We have an 18-year-old living with us now. And he apparently did not heed the instruction to try to stay quiet for the next 15-20 minutes. Because I can hear his phone playing video. Anyways, so yeah, now we got an 18-year-old that we're having stay here, and that's awesome. He's a huge help. Girls love him. He's been a really big help around the house, so that's killer. Anyways, but yeah, the girls have just been, man, they've been on something. And then today, Georgia, this morning, we had to take her to her 9-month checkup, and things were good. She's like 28 pounds or something. Little chunkalunka, love it. And she's tall. I don't know how tall, but she's tall. That's what the nurse said. And yeah, good head size. Everything's just, average, or what I like to call it, a little above average. So she's doing good. Unbelievably cute. Cuter by the second. Honestly, I can leave the room. I can be with her for 30 minutes. Leave the room to get a glass of water, come back in. It's like I've never seen her before. It starts all over. All I want to do is smell her and kiss her and throw her because she's so darn cute. And if you think I'm a psycho, go watch the other episode where I talk about that type of thing. Having crazy aggressive reactions to things that are really cute. It's a thing, and I'm not crazy for it. So, anyways, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm not superstitious, so I know a lot of people say, like, oh, kids are crazy, like full moon. I don't believe in that stuff. It's whatever. I think they're having fun. You know what I think it is it's cold, and so they're not going outside as much. That's exactly what it is. They're not going outside as much. Today they got to get out, which was awesome. It was like in the 60s. When Nellie got home from school, I said, see ya. Go on outside, run around and play. And because I had a bunch of things I needed to get done. And it worked out well. But anyways, we're just trying to figure that stuff out. Nothing I can really put a finger on right now, but just trying to figure out some of this craziness, this crazy stuff. The girls share a bed now. I told you I fixed up their room, and they share a bed now, so that's a whole nother issue because they talk forever now, wrestle and stuff. Anyways, but, parent life. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. As crazy it gets. Crazy as it gets, I love it. But I wanted to talk about something that the bride's father said at the wedding last weekend. So we're at the Hermitage Hotel, and we were in the room for the groomsmen where we were like eating breakfast and getting dressed. Well, actually, everybody was already dressed in their tux. I didn't get the memo that they were all showing up at the hotel dressed. So I showed up in sweatpants and a hoodie and a beanie and tennis shoes at 7:30 in the morning, ready to get dressed with all the boys. Get into my tuxedo. But everyone was already in their tuxedos, so I looked like a moron. But luckily they bared with me, and I got my tux on. We were all looking pretty fly. Took some pictures in the bathroom, like I said, but took some pictures out in the street. Pretty cool. And but the bride's dad, we were sitting in that room, and we were eating breakfast. And the bride has two brothers. And one of them was just on Survivor. You didn't need to know that, but it kind of makes me sound cool. Not no celebrity. And anyways, so her two brothers are two of the funniest, goofiest, sweetest, silliest, most handsome two guys I've ever met in my entire life. And they're like 25 and, I don't know, late 20-something, early 30-something. And they are movers and shakers, entrepreneurs. Okay, they've each got like a couple of different business things that they're doing. They kind of partner together on a couple of things, and they have their own things. And they're constantly just buy, sell, funny money, boo-bah, right? Just going to town, making moves. One of them, I checked his Instagram, and he put a picture up of him on the slopes on his cell phone talking. And he's real handsome. He looks like a redheaded Disney prince. And his face looks real cool, and he put hashtag money never sleeps. And I said, you can't write money never sleeps, dude, because you sound like a friggin' cornball. Money never sleeps. Come on, dude. We had a good laugh over that. I love him. And anyways, these dudes, they're fearless. They just get these ideas in their head, and they go for them. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And we were just kind of talking about that, and their dad was talking about them, and they've always been like that. And he said something that stuck with me. He said, I never told my kids no. And that absolutely struck a chord with me, because I say no constantly. And he didn't mean he didn't say no when they were like about to get hurt or do something that they weren't supposed to do. He meant if they were like, hey, can we try this, or see how this works, or do this, or see if this will work, whatever. He would say, yeah, go for it. He would never tell them no. He would always let them learn. And I just thought that was, I loved that. I loved that so much. And so it's something that it's made me start thinking, what a cool legacy for him, or a cool story, because that's not his whole legacy, but that's a pretty serious part of the legacy that he's going to be leaving behind. That his kids can say, Dad never told us no. He always let us try big ideas and go after big dreams and do things like that. He never told us no. He helped us, because that's what he did. The dad would just, if he had some knowledge in whatever they were trying to do, he would help them to his best ability, and then they were just on their own once they surpassed that. And so, what an awesome part of a story to leave as part of your legacy. And it just made me really start thinking about that, and I've been trying to stay conscious of that. What is my legacy going to be when I'm gone? And, not to sound morbid, but, you never know. You never know when that's going to happen. You never know when you're going to be gone. And so I want to make sure that I'm staying on top of crafting a solid legacy that I can be proud of leaving behind. And I want to be doing it daily. Because if something were to happen, God forbid, to me, I don't want the memory that my children have of me, or my legacy, to be, he always kept us safe. He always made sure we weren't doing anything that, we could fail in, or we could get messed up in, or get hurt. I don't want that to be it. And I don't do that, but I do say no to a lot of things when they say, hey, can we do this or try this or whatever? And it's things that they could try it. If they get hurt, they're not going to get that hurt. They're not going to mess anything up, right? It's things like that afterward I think to myself, why did you say no to that? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Sometimes they'll ask me something and I'll say, no, not right now, guys. No. And Nellie, especially, her response will just be like, okay. And when she does it, I think, yeah, okay. Why am I so adamant against this? You know, just let them try it. If they have ideas, let them try them. If they want to try little experiments, let them try them. That's Nellie's big thing now. She wants to do experience. That's what she says, experience. She won't say experiments. She can say it, but she keeps forgetting. So she said, can we do experience? I said, everything you do is an experience, buddy. And she doesn't quite get that yet. But, so we've been doing these science experiments. I'm not very good at them. Tracy's much better. And, you know, I'm trying to get her more into literature experiments. That's more my thing. And, anyways, but, you know, it's kind of cool because I'm getting to see her do these experiments. You know, things like baking soda and vinegar, right? Put them together and it goes crazy. And to see the look on her face and see the delight in seeing the reaction of, you know, I wonder what's going to happen if these two things, you know, go together or whatever. It's fun. And so it's just made me start thinking, you know, I want to make sure that I'm not telling them no all the time. That I do a quick, is this going to seriously hurt them? Is this going to mess something up? If the answer is no to both of those things, let's go. Yeah, give it a shot. See what you can do, if you can figure it out. Because who knows what type of synapse is going to fire in that moment that will last with them for, you know, that will inform what they do when they're older. I don't know. Who's to say that, you know, those things don't get molded right now? I think they do. You know, these passions and things that they're going to care about when they're older, that stuff is happening now. And so I want to make sure that I'm leaving behind a solid legacy for them. So, I've just been trying to stay conscious of that. So I'm really thankful for Jess's dad saying that, you know. It was just one of those things where, man, it was one of those things where you ever have those moments where somebody says something and when they say it, you go, maybe not out loud, but in your head you think, I didn't know I needed to hear that, but I realize now that I needed to hear that. You know, that's how it was. I was just kind of sitting there eating my breakfast croissant, half listening, and then he said it, and I thought, whoa, dude, that's some next level stuff, man. It is. It's next level. And, yeah. So I'm excited. It's a challenge. It's made doing, you know, little menial things easier, too. And big things. Part of my jobs, and I do a couple different things. And so when I'm doing those things, you know, my gears are turning now. This is part of the legacy, dude. This nonprofit that you run, that I'm going to tell you guys about next episode. This nonprofit that you run, you know, this is part of your legacy. So do it to the best of your ability. Do it well. Finish well. Right? Not finishing anytime soon. I'm just saying what I do. But anyways, be thinking about your legacy. I encourage you that. What legacy are you going to leave behind, you know? If you were, and like I said, not to sound morbid, but I think it's a good way to just check really quick. If something were to happen right now, and you were to leave this earth, what would your kids say about you? What would they remember about you? And then once you get that answer, are you proud of that? If you're not proud of it, change it. If you are proud of it, get better at it. Keep doing it, get better at it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode and watching. I'm so sorry, audio version's not available for this one. But you know, what can I say? Imperfect dad. I'm just living up to the name. I am imperfect. I fail daily, and that's okay. We can all fail together. We can learn together. We can march forward in this crazy thing called parenting. I love you all so much. Please subscribe, like, share the video. That helps. So you don't realize how much that helps when you share this video on your Facebook page. If it's not something you want to support in that way, I totally get it. But if you're indifferent about it, please do it. It really helps out. Love you guys. It's the Imperfect Dad signing out, dude.
Sometimes he's good and sometimes he's bad. The imperfect dad.